Derived Wisdom, Y2K 17.08.22. And I'm thinking of my father. He's gone. He died at the age of 46. Ripe old age. He was already way beyond his years by the time he reached 46. And he was just in his 20s, this man, Albert. So that was his name, Albert. And I don't know if he ever even handled a weapon, a firearm in his entire life. But back in those days, when you were drafted, it wasn't assumed you had any experience in combat or anything else like that. You just were drafted because your country needed you. People got that letter. See, this generation doesn't know about drafts yet. I think of these vets that are still alive today that have lived to see the day that a president of the United States is actually embracing the fascist Nazism and the KKKism, embracing the very thing that they fought against. They came back from the war fighting against this evil force, the Axis. I mean, imagine coming back from a, like a tour of like 2, 3 years, 4 years of battle, constant battle of kill, be killed, hand-to-hand combat, gouging eyes out, infiltrators, bombings in the night, floating around in a pool of blood in the water, in a transport, with the pieces of the bodies of the people that you became friends with, that you trained with. And my father came back. He was deployed again and again, even after this incident. That was the early part of his experience in war, and then they sent him someplace else to get more battered and bruised. But at least, as much as he damaged me personally with his post-traumatic stress and agony, at least he didn't live to see the day that a Nazi KKK supporting creep like Trump gets into office. And I feel so sad for all these people who fought against this evil only to have it insinuate itself into our country with the help of a foreign power, the Russians, with the help of the Trump campaign and his pernicious, cursed family, and with the enabling of the GOP. Here's a Nazi-loving fiend who is still making decisions for us, who's still president. A Nazi KKK-loving fiend who's still in office. Do we have any respect for the memory of my father, the other fathers who gave their lives in battles, or who came back damaged for life? Do we have any respect for these people? Do we have enough respect for them that we are irresponsibly, many of us irresponsibly stayed home in the last election? We didn't vote. Half of this country didn't vote, and now we have a dangerous traitor in our midst, a dangerous traitor, an enabling party trying to undermine the very nature of our democratic society. And I just think of my father, who basically ruined me, but who did his duty, didn't shirk, was drafted, never handled a gun in his entire life, a weapon of some kind, went in to mortal combat and came back damaged, and then continued to damage his own life and those of the lives around him. dying at the age of 46. But at least he didn't live like these last remaining survivors of our World War II who are in their 90s now. 90s. Or the Korean War vets who are in their 80s. Do we have any respect for those folks? Especially the WW2 vets who fought against Nazism. They have to live to see a day when the so-called President of the United States makes a false equivalency between Nazis and demonstrators where a woman is murdered by one of these Nazi slime. That's what I think about right now. Those vets who gave their lives and who had part of their lives damaged through either physical, like being physically disabled, war injured, or mentally unbalanced, war injured. To see these folks now and at the end of their lives, to see our country given over to traitors, to Nazi-loving freaking traitors, I will be ashamed every single day that this son of a bitch, Trump Putin bastard is in office. I will be ashamed. I will be embarrassed. And I will fight legally, day in and day out, for the day that we flush this fiend and those in his enabling party out of our lives so that we can continue on the road to pure democracy. In the meantime, think about the mockery, think about the outrage, the insult to those vets still alive from World War II who have to look in shame at a piece of shit called Donald John Trump. Traitor, fascist, Nazi, KK lover, fascist, bastard, birther, fiend.